What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's your boy Kush back at it again with another Just Chillin' podcast episode. I have it pulled up here. It hasn't gone live yet. I'm guessing latency might have been something that I did not set to ultra low. That's fine. Welcome in, guys. Thank you for tuning in. First things first, shots a game rusher. If you're a Mutt fan, if you are a NBA 2K, what's it called, Ultimate Team fan, if for some reason you got Animal Crossing. Apparently, they have their version of the coins as well. Go over to GameRusher.com. Use the discount code HUBHUB. Get 6% off of your purchase. Helps the channel out. Goes directly back in. And of course, y'all already see what I'm wearing, man. Let me bring this up now as well. I got the Sack the Halls shirt on, bro. First and foremost, let me angle this properly, bro. Sack the Halls with Dexter Lawrence. Go get it now. Let me quickly highlight this down here. Of course, there's the Wayne Train as well. Last week, I showed you guys the Wayne Train shirt. Wayne Train shirt, been a real popular one right there. Sack the Halls, more Christmas themed. Go over there and get that as well. That's not all. We got special guests tonight. We got the one, the only, Pest the Analyst, who was, I'm pretty sure, in a good mood before this Washington game happened. And Nate Talks Giants on here. What's up, guys? How you doing, man?
What's up?
Oh, what's going on? How's everybody doing tonight? Man, stupid ass football team.
This was supposed to be a happy victory stream. That's in the title. And then I'm watching this Washington versus Steelers game, and I'm just like, it's really finna be like that, huh?
Can't stand.
Pest, are you just done, man?
I mean, so those who have paid attention, they know that I absolutely hate the Washington football team. Like I hate this team more than any other team in the NFC East. And it's because that damn lady is happy right now, and I hate when she's happy. I hate when that lady is happy. And now it's our show, Nate.
I guess so. He's gone.
Don't worry about Kush. Kush, who's Kush?
Taking over the channel.
Get out of here, Kush. This is my channel now. I took over this channel.
Shout out to Mike Nixon for the $5 super chat. Also a member alert. Thank you, Mike. He said Steelers had one job and they blew it. I'm just gonna leave this up there because Pest was in his bag. He got excited once I left.
Yeah, I was excited.
I'm gonna go back in his bag now.
Because my plan for world domination is working, man. I'm taking over one channel at a time. Man, this damn football team, man. And you know what? Here's the thing. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Because we are still in first place. We got the tiebreaker. We swept that team. We're not concerned with that team, okay? It is what it is.
We control our destiny, man.
Yeah, we just got to go do our job. We can't worry about other people.
Take care of business.
And I just saw somebody in the chat said, I think it was NYG 31. He says, now we must beat the Cardinals Sunday. Now, what would you do? Do we have to beat the Cardinals Sunday? Obviously, it would be great if we do, but is that a must win at this point?
I mean, I don't know if any one particular game is a must win, but I think we got to win 2 out of 4. 3 out of 4 would be better. I'll say that.
So definitely get us up there. 2 out of 4 would put us up at what are we now? 7-9. And it's crazy because before this Washington football team, basically went out there and upset the Steelers, I was saying 6-10 is going to be good enough, man.
That's what I said. That's what I thought. Then the Steelers just decided to suck. And that's their decision. They can do what they want to do. I'm just upset about it.
Okay, it depends, though, because next week Washington has San Francisco. So
Washington could definitely beat San Francisco at this point in the season.
They could beat San Francisco. They absolutely could beat San Francisco. Here's what pisses me off, man. Is that these teams, right? These teams that we lost to are beatable teams right now. And, man, we should have won those games, man. We should have won those games, and we wouldn't even be worried about this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what happens when you get a new coach. It takes time for him to take over the program.
Oh, absolutely.
Just can't expect it this early.
Oh, absolutely.
That's 100% true, but I kind of feel what Pest is saying. Teams like the Steelers at the beginning of the year are a lot more difficult to beat then than they are now. Like, when we played San Fran, we were playing their practice squad, but they were still tough to beat. It remains our worst game of the year, and now San Fran can be beat by literally anybody except for probably the Jets.
Right.
Yeah, I think that the Steelers are probably the one exception to that rule just because we played them first week out the gate, and they didn't look that great in that game, to be honest. Steelers didn't look as good in that game as they had the last few weeks, and they still haven't looked that good. They haven't looked like an undefeated team. But I do think that's the one exception. Like the Bears, we should have won that game. If we played them again, we'd win. Same deal with a bunch of these other teams. I'd feel real good if we played the Bucs again.
Yeah.
I'd love to see them in the playoffs.
Yep.
That's a matchup I'd love. I mean, a lot of this is just dependent on the coaching figuring stuff out, getting it all together, and Jones figuring it out. He figured it out late in the year. He's starting to put stuff together. It's just too late for 1 year. We all knew this wasn't going to be the year we competed in the playoffs. This is nice. We want to get some playoff experience. We want to get maybe a playoff win, depending on what the matchup is. But this is better than we could have possibly expected.
Shout out to Joel Yaddo. Thank you so much, Joel. He just became a team coach. Thank you so much, a team member now. Joel, he has the beard game going. I got to match my beard game with him, but I don't think I could grow all the way out, man. Love that guy. Whenever he calls in as well. By the way, every Tuesday call-in show, guys, he has a lot of good things to say. I'm seeing a lot of Giants fans in here that are just not happy with this Washington football game, man.
Why would they be?
Yeah, I mean, like this was the game. This was a get right game for the Steelers, right? This was an opportunity for the Steelers, who have looked bad, over the course of the last few weeks, right? Barely winning games. This was an opportunity for Pittsburgh to come out there and win a game in dominant fashion, get a little bit of experience, and get a little bit more momentum. And now, like this could be the turning point for the Steelers, as a team this year, especially with the way that Roethlisberger is looking, with the play calling, with the decision making. We could look back like a month and a half from now. We could look back and go, that was the moment. Like that was the moment that the Steelers fell apart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, I think when you look at a team having problems down the stretch, you got to think about what those problems are, and are they good problems to have or bad problems to have? Like, what kind of problems are you facing? And the Steelers have all the wrong problems right now. They've got play calling problems, they've got quarterback problems, and they have connection with your skill players problems.
Right.
The defense is fine. Despite some pretty big injuries, the defense looked great tonight. They were flying all over the field. They were playing Steelers defense. But when Ben can't connect with Deontay Johnson, you have a problem. When Ben can't hit the wide open downfield shots, you have a problem. And when you can't establish the run game because your offensive coordinator is a moron, you have a problem. These are things that are going to lose you games down the stretch and in the playoffs.
I just want to say one person I'm not seeing in here that's always in here is King Sean. He's a big Washington football team fan. Ever since I think the first stream we tuned in was when me and PTA called the Washington game. King Sean's been with the channel ever since. I'm surprised he's not here because yesterday.
Just yet. He's waiting.
Yeah. Because yesterday, after he's
lulling you into a false sense of security, then he's going to snap.
You know why? Yesterday, after we beat the Steelers, King Sean messaged me on Twitter. He's like, bro, listen, man, I respect your team, bro. You know I'm a fan of the channel, but the Giants got this division. I think he might take back those words after tonight.
Yeah, he's going to feel a little differently after tonight.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to Nerd Cage Live in here. By the way, Nerd Cage Live always calls in to, I know, Tana's shows. He's also Bricksport Giants community. He has his own kind of video gaming community stuff over there. Here's what he says. Ben's career is done. Yvette's also said that. Funnily enough, Nate said that to me before we started the stream. I want to get PTA's thoughts on that. What's up with Ben's career, man?
He's old. Like, what do you mean?
Like, are the Steelers? Listen, I think we know that Ben is probably done, but are the Steelers? I don't think they're just going to give up on him after this year.
I don't think he's going to be gone, but like, are they going to find a replacement for him in the very near future? Yes.
What's to say that Ben doesn't retire at the end of this year? Like, what's to say that he doesn't go, you know what? I'm done. Like, I made a comeback. I gave it a shot, but my body ain't feeling good. Because I'm sure his body ain't feeling good, right? Especially this late in the season. Like, here's the thing. We're sitting here, we're talking about Ben Roethlisberger being washed, but Ben Roethlisberger is probably held together by duct tape and bubble gum right now. Like, that's just what it is.
He just came off an injury.
Yeah, he's an old dude who's feeling the effects of a long football season, and maybe that's why he looks bad. So at the end of this season, he may be like, you know what? I'm good after this, man. I can't even, like, my body is not holding up. Listen, you know, you're talking about a full season of football. Ben Roethlisberger's been getting rocked all year long, taking hits all year long. It seemed like every game there's something that he's like,
Yeah.
You remember just a couple seasons ago before he went down with this big injury, he was always, for like, I want to say 3 straight seasons, whenever he got nicked up a little, he would be in the press conference like, I don't know if I'm coming back. This might be my last season.
Right. So we're sitting here asking, is he done? He could be. He might retire at the end of this. I'm telling you right now, Ben Roethlisberger's body is killing him right now. You can just tell by his throwing motion. He's not trying to escape the pocket that much. He's just standing in there because he's just like, look, I got to get this ball out. I can't run. Like, I'm telling you right now, this is probably it for him, but not because he's washed, but probably because he's just tired. That's probably what it is.
I mean, sorry, get to the donut. My bad.
Yeah, and there's no problem, man. Shout out to Mike Nixon once again for the super chat. He says, you know what, though? I'm confident because our defense is legit and Joe Judge has his team motivated. I agree, man.
By the way, just speaking of problems and speaking of injuries, Washington has a problem that a lot of people are going to forget about. A lot of people are going to say, oh, they beat the Steelers. Washington's going to win the division, and then forget about the fact that they just lost Antonio Gibson.
Hey, wasn't that during this game too?
Yes, he did not come back. He was doubtful to return. Something's going on with his toe. It looked to me like he might have just damaged one of the ligaments on the underside of his foot. Hard to know for sure. That's what it looked like to me. They were taping it up. But he's gone. J.D. McKissic can try to fill in, but the announcers were saying it. He's not Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson looked explosive in that Dallas game.
The reason J.D. McKissic worked tonight is because the Steelers just did not pay attention to him in the passing game. They were letting Watson just pass in those flats all night long.
Wide open in the flats all night. I don't get it. Wide open in the flats.
Not good.
There's King Sean right there. There's King Sean.
King Sean was
there
he says, hey, we going to the Super Bowl. I'm telling y'all, we going to the Super Bowl. Listen, you know what's funny about this? Today I already made and put up my skit for my members. So Joel Yada, you're a new member. You could see the skit tonight. Regular channel viewers, as usual, would see it tomorrow. In that video, I, of course, got hype because I made it thinking Washington would lose against Pittsburgh. One of my lines, I kid you not, that one of my characters says is, oh, Washington, you think they competing? Call me when they beat a team like the Seahawks. And you know what? Maybe I should have waited an extra day before I made that skit, but it is what it is, man.
It's not good.
Yeah. Listen, Sean, I know you super sized right now, right? You should be. You should be super sized because your team just beat an undefeated team that really shouldn't be undefeated, right? But I'm not gonna take anything away from y'all, man. Y'all went out there and y'all won this game, right? But I'm gonna be completely honest with you, Sean. I mean, it kind of wasn't impressive. This might sound like me being Salt Bay up in here, but I'm not. I'm just talking to you from a football perspective. That game against the Steelers wasn't impressive. That Steelers look terrible right now. They look terrible. Now, I got it. Seahawks didn't look great on Sunday either. I got it. I already know what you're going to say. Seahawks didn't look great, right?
But the thing is,
they look better than Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Even though the Seahawks only scored 12 and Pittsburgh put up 17, the thing is, I really think maybe I have my blue lens on. Maybe we all have our blue lens on. But I think the Seahawks scored 12 because our defense was just performing that good against them. I think the Steelers just look bad. They just straight up look bad tonight offensively and everything. Just nothing was working for them.
Yeah. Look, listen, we forget that the Seahawks put up 30 points a game every week. They put up 30 points a game every week, yo. I mean, Sorry. And Sean said that the win against Seahawks was not impressive. It actually was very impressive.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk a little specifically about this. So again, I said this before I went live. I'm not going to take anything away from Washington's defense because they played great football, and what impressed me was how they managed the line of scrimmage. That was impressive. But the difference between the Seahawks and the Steelers game is that everything that should have happened I almost said the bad word, excuse me, the Washington football team.
I called them the potatoes.
Oh, okay.
The red potatoes.
Everything that should have happened for the Fighting Dan Snyders to have a chance in this game happened, and that includes Pittsburgh sabotaging themselves. Yeah. So when you compare that to the Seahawks versus the Giants, and you say that the Giants did more than you could have possibly expected them to do, they did everything you could possibly ask, plus extra. That's a little bit more impressive, especially considering the Seahawks didn't really sabotage themselves. They had a couple of bad plays and a couple of missed opportunities, but not like the Steelers. The Steelers' play calling was garbage tonight. Not saying the Seahawks was excellent, but it wasn't this bad.
It was bad. Hey, you know what? Here's what I am going to say about the football team, man. Their defense looks pretty damn good right now. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. Like, I know that we're talking about how bad Ben Roethlisberger looked, But yo, Montez Sweat is batting everything down.
Somebody else we were talking about before the stream, Montez Sweat.
Chase Young feels like he's everywhere, right? The linebackers are playing well. Like, listen, that defense, it's not elite, King Sean. It's not elite, but it is very good. It played very well today. It showed up. That defense looked pretty damn good.
Where would you rank that defense? And real quick, shout out to Josh Valencia. I love this dude. #1 Miami Dolphins fans, always in the streams with the $2 super chat. Thank you, man. He says, "What up, Hub? What up, Josh?" And Josh's Dolphins. How are the Dolphins doing right now? Actually, because I compare the Giants to the Dolphins a lot.
The Giants are 1 year behind where the Dolphins are right now. That's what I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Josh. I'm sorry. Dolphins got 8 wins. My bad. Dolphins got 8 wins.
I think that could be us next year. I'm gonna keep it real.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, shout out to Knowledge Acquisition. Yes, I did this, man. But yeah, you were saying Montez Sweat. Me and Nate were talking about him. It's crazy this man went 26th overall in the 2019 draft, but we were saying, you know, going into that draft, he was a top 15 prospect. He just dropped. What's up?
He's seeing something he doesn't like. Oh, I see what it is. All right.
King Sean has got all. Listen, this is King Sean right now. This is King Sean right now. All caps. All caps.
Oh, he got 3 levels.
All caps right now. This is you.
Cap that the camera can't even show it.
This is you. All cap. This dude is capping so hard he is capping so hard in the comment section. All cap. Stop it.
Yeah. You know, I mean, me and Ho were talking about this before. It's crazy to think that some weird heart condition thing, I don't even remember what it was. It's crazy to think that stopped him from being a top flight prospect. I remember watching his pre-draft workouts, his highlights, and just seeing how crazy this dude's bend around the edges. He can, if he develops a good speed to power move or a good inside shimmy, he's going to be deadly in the pass rush game because tackles are going to have to go way into their kick sets, and he's going to nail them on the inside move.
And it's crazy because right now Montez, it's very arguable that he's the better defensive end between him and Chase Young.
Yeah, that won't last long, but for now.
Listen, I really like Montez Sweat. I've liked Montez Sweat for a long time. I know that it seems to have taken him a long time to come of age, so to speak.
I mean, not even past. It's his second year. It's not that long.
I mean, so yeah, it's his second. Is it his second year or is it his third year?
This is his second year. He was drafted last year.
Yeah, second. I think.
I thought it was his third year. I don't know why I'm thinking it was his third year. But even still, I've always I liked him coming out of college, and so when he went to Washington, I was like, damn. I don't want to deal with this guy. I don't want to deal with this guy. And now we got to deal with him and Chase Young on the other side. Double damn. So,
I mean, we took pretty good care of them so far this season.
True. I mean, that's the one thing that infuriates me is when football team fans will say that they're a better team than the Giants right now. And here's what I will say. On paper, Washington is a better team than the Giants just in terms of talent, because their defense looks more talented. The problem is that doesn't make you better. The best way you can possibly compare 2 teams is when they play each other on the field, because that's the only way you can actually compare coaching, which is the most important part of football.
I was going to say,
sweep your ass, that pretty well definitively means we are better than you.
Twice.
Yeah, we are definitely coached better than the Washington.
We have the best coaching in the division, bar none.
Shout out to Josh Valencia once again for the $2 super chat. Thank you, my man. He says, best of luck to the Giants, and I love their fans. Yo, Josh, listen, bro. Best of luck to your Dolphins because y'all might be creeping up on the Bills. We're talking about teams that were strong at the beginning of the year and slowly coming down from their high. Bills are one of those teams as well.
Listen, I need the Dolphins to catch up to the Bills and beat them because I'm so sick of Bills fans right now. I'm just
you know who I'm sick of? The Josh Allen stands.
I'm sick of the Josh Allen stands too, but I'm just so sick of Bills fans in general.
You don't like the Bills Mafia?
Yo, listen, I will give Bills Mafia respect, right? Because Bills Mafia is super loyal down. They are the bottom B word, right? That's what they are, okay? But y'all been getting y'all cheeks tapped forever, forever since I was a kid. Right, I've been watching the Bills get their cheeks tapped whether it was in the Super Bowl or if it was throughout the season, I've been watching the Bills get their cheeks tapped. Tom Brady leaves the division, and now here y'all are talking all this yang. Come on, bro. Stop it.
Well, Bills fans have a classic problem, which is preseason overconfidence. Like, first off, the fact that Bills fans saw Josh Allen have like 4 good weeks of football and immediately went off, despite the fact that their biggest strength coming in, which was the defense, was not looking very good, that should be a red flag right there. And the fact that it wasn't is kind of sad. It's like, I hate when fans just completely misunderstand what's happening on the field. Because, like, it's so hard to argue with someone while their team is winning that they're wrong about why they're winning. Just because
that was the problem with
hang your head into the wall for an hour, and it is the most frustrating thing ever. Cough, Kenneth the Mochaccino, cough.
Bro, that was the most frustrating thing.
Mochaccino! I love it.
What happened to him? He was that thing on Discord. What happened with that pest?
What do you mean? He's still there.
I bet. I was gonna say what Nate just said was the most frustrating thing with Steelers fans, and now they're gonna come down from their high as well. So hey, listen, man, we were talking about that Washington defense before. Where would you guys rank them?
I'd say top 10, tentatively. I would tentatively put them at the bottom of the top 10.
Because I do think they're still, not to interrupt you, Pest, my bad. I do think they're still number 1 pass defense, which is crazy. They've held that spot for a long time.
I put him in 15. I put him in like I put him like in like upper 15. Like how you're saying like bottom 10. I put him like
in that like 8 to 12 range type thing.
Like 11 or 12. Like that's why I say in the 15 because you can't say top 11. That doesn't sound as good. But like yeah, maybe like 11 or 12, something like that. Like they're good. I'm not taking anything away from them.
They're just not a finished product yet.
Yeah, like there's just too many. There's too much to work on, overall with that team. And I mean, for them to be playing their best football now is indicative of the fact that one, Riverboat Ron's doing something right, and two, they're starting to gel. And I mean, this is the right time to gel.
It's the same thing with the Giants right now.
Right. It's very similar to us. And we're just finding the right time to gel. And hey, listen, like if you're gelling late in the season and you're putting it together, man, you can win games against anybody. It doesn't matter who.
Well, the thing is, I think if you asked a well-informed fan, what is the best case scenario that could happen with the Giants this year, relative to everything, relative to Joe Judge, relative to the young talent, relative to Daniel Jones, all that good stuff. If you ask them what is the realistic best case scenario for what could happen this year, what they tell you probably wouldn't be far off from what we're experiencing right now.
Really?
That would be my statement. I think when you say best case scenario, the coaching has worked out beautifully. The young players are starting to develop. We're starting to get wins against real teams. We're starting to gain traction in the playoff race. I think this is best case scenario for the year 1 of Joe Judge. Year 2, we're looking playoffs, baby. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, like real playoffs.
Pest, do you remember I said this? Well, actually, Pest, I don't even think we interacted then. This was back in April when like the very first Giants roundtable was done. I think it was either on Chris or Bad Dog's channel. I made a bold claim. I was like, in Super Bowl 56, the Giants are going to be in there. They're going to win it. It looked stupid at the beginning of the season. And it probably still looks a bit far off now, but I'm sticking with that. That's not this year's Super Bowl. That's next year's Super Bowl. I'm sticking with 56 that we're gonna be in that, man.
Well, I'll tell you something right now. This is such a far cry from 0-5 and 1-7. It feels so goddamn good. And the other thing is, for any Giants fan that's been paying attention, you knew this was coming. Because for the casual fans out there, they saw the record. They watched the games, they saw the box scores, and they said, oh, it's just same old Giants football. And they didn't see the fact that we were playing good teams close. The coaching was doing good things. The game plans consistently looked good, and we were making tangible progress. The young talent was working out, all that good stuff. So if you were really paying attention, you knew this was coming. So,
and yeah, Edward, Yeah, go on, PTA, go on.
Well, I was gonna say, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Edward, I did preface it by saying maybe it still looks a bit stupid, but playoffs, man, I really think we're gonna be the best team in the NFC East next year. Washington is right there with us, but I still think we're gonna be better because we're just a couple. And Joel just said it too. We're just a couple players away, in my opinion, from being a real contender.
See, I stick to what I said last week or the week before last, where I said that this team is a year and a half away. So this upcoming offseason and then the following offseason and the year after that, we're going to be an absolute problem. Now, that's not to say that's not to say that next season this team won't be better, this team won't have a better record, this team won't make the playoffs. What I am saying is that in 2 off seasons, okay, a season and a half is what I said. So 2 off seasons, we're going to be a team that is going to be a perennial playoff team. Like this playoff, if you don't make the playoffs, it's not going to be like if we win 8 games. It's going to be if you don't make the playoffs, if you don't make a run in the playoffs, that's a failure of a season. So
yeah, I'll tell you right now. I think when it comes to predictions, the toughest thing for predictions and the reason why I so lowballed where the Giants ended up is I had us as 4-2 before the season. The reason why I ended up so lowballing it is because not anybody could have predicted how good a coach Joe Judge has been and how successful this coaching staff has been. Because I will stand by the logic that I had. I'll stand by the logic to it. I'm fucking glad I was wrong. I'm ecstatic that the coaching staff is destroying that logic. But when you have a coaching staff like this, it's really hard to bet against them, you know? So it's tough for me to sit here and say, logically, it should be 2 years down the road to Super Bowl window. It's tough for me to say that, considering that they've already defied all my expectations. Do I still think that? Probably, like you said, about 2 more offseasons until we get the finishing touches on both these units, on offense and defense. But the other thing I want to say is, in terms of defying expectations, the other thing is how good Dave Gettleman's offseason was.
Oh, thank you for bringing that up. Real quick, mate.
Predicted all the home runs he hit.
Ooh.
So if you look at that and then say, if he does that again, if he nails it again, it's hard for me to say I can't see the Giants in the NFC Championship next year.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Giants Being Sports, another member in here. Shout out to him and Nerding Out Sports as well. I know Pest is going to respond to Nate. My next question was going to be, how much credit does Gallman deserve? Because there's still people out there that don't want to give him any.
So here's the deal. I can't answer that question, Kush. The reason why I can't answer that question is because I'm doing a Pest perspective this week. Because I've seen a lot of people talking about Dave Gettleman. So I'm going to do a Pest perspective on Dave Gettleman this week. What's today? Monday? It will probably come out on Thursday.
Okay. So then you can. I won't ask you any questions, but I'm going to give my take on this then.
Okay, go ahead. I can't answer these questions.
The way I see this is, in terms of a GM's job, right? Their job is obviously the personnel, and their job specifically is to bring in the personnel, not just that's good, not just bring in the best players, but the players that will fit the coaching the best. So the only possible argument that people can and will make, because New York Giants fans are ridiculous, the only possible argument against Gettleman is that, his class wasn't that good. The coaching staff is just doing something with nothing. But then you got to say, doesn't that also mean Dave Gettleman is a success? Isn't that his job, to give the coaching staff the players that they can work with in terms of what they're doing and turn that into production? Isn't that just Dave Gettleman doing a perfect job? Because even if you want to give credit for how the production is coming, you still got to say that Dave Gettleman brought in the right guys. He's still, 10 for 10 on players this season, whatever the hell the numbers are. Mm-hmm. I think at some point when you say how much credit does Dave Gettleman deserve, when it comes to the production on the field, honestly, probably not that much, because the coaching has much more of an impact. But when you say how much credit does he deserve overall for the success of the team, a fuck ton of credit. That's how much credit he deserves.
Shout out to Edward Josh. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, man. He says, "What's going on? Be honest. Who's better, Washington or Giants?" Edward, for the simple reason that we swept Washington, I'm gonna go with the Giants.
Yeah.
And by the way, let me just hold up. I don't know if am I able to do the thing where I put a comment on the screen?
Nah, but you could tell me which one and I can put it up.
Giants Penny Sports. Exactly. Some people would rather be that one. Yeah. This is 100% on the money. 100%. Do you know how ecstatic I am that I was wrong this offseason? Do you have any idea how ecstatic I am that we are at the place we're at right now? But there's still people out there that would rather the Giants lose so their takes can be accurate. And that's the point where I can say you're not a real fan. Because a lot of people throw that insult around. Like, I get it a lot when I do mock drafts just because I think you can do both. I think you can pay attention to the playoff race and do mock drafts at the same time just because I love the team that goddamn much. But that's the point where I say, all right, you're not a real fucking fan. When you'd rather be right than see the team succeed and enjoy that with the rest of the fan base, I got a problem with that shit.
Shout out to Mike Nixon for the $5 super chat. Once again, Mike been coming in clutch, man. Thank you. He says there needs to be a coordinator of the year award in the NFL. Graham would win hands down. I truly think the Joe Judge should be coach of the year hands. So we're going to get into that in a second because I don't know if Pest wanted to add a little something to that Gallman conversation. He said he had his Pest perspective.
So I'm just going to give you guys a teaser to my Pest perspective. Dave Gettleman has been collaborative this entire time. This entire time, Dave Gettleman has been collaborative, and I'll explain in my Pest perspective.
And before I ship to Mike, I actually put a video out today. The title is it's alluring. It's a trap video because the title is our offensive line is beasting, our defense is beasting, and our coaches are absolute beasts. The entire video, I was like, yo, listen, bro. We just beat Seattle. We did all this great stuff on defense. You know, Leonard Williams had such a great game. Jabril Peppers had such a great game. I was just naming name after name after name and coach after coach after coach. And I was like, at the end, I trapped everybody. I'm like, so shouldn't we give Gallman some credit? Didn't he bring these guys in? And then I get what people said. And this is going to what Pest said. He's been collaborative. People don't realize that he should get credit for that as well. Because it's hard to tell a GM to relinquish some of your responsibilities and let this brand new head coach, get a little bit of a say. And I do think Judge had a little bit of say. But for people that think that Judge had all of the say as a first-year head coach before he proved anything, I think are just looking to find a reason to, put down Dave Gettleman. Judge had some of a say, but Gettleman was still the general manager. He's still the one scouting these players, giving him probably a group that fits the scheme, and then Judge maybe picks out a couple. And then Gettleman ultimately has the ultimate say in who he drafts, unless, of course, Mara comes down like he did in 2018 and says, take this guy. But I don't think that happened this offseason. I think Gellman did do his job. And then, of course, free agency, the biggest example would be James Bradbury and Blake Martinez, who were our two biggest signings. James Bradbury is 100% a Gellman guy. People were using that as an insult when we brought in James Bradbury, that, we only brought him in because Gellman drafted him in Carolina. Now he's one of the best cornerbacks in the league. Blake Martinez, everybody hated on my guy Blake, except for me and a couple other content creators. I told y'all, listen, Blake is going to be our middle linebacker of the future. I'm glad I was right. And people were saying, Gellman only brought him in because he missed out on Joe Sherbert. He missed out on that guy from the Rams, I think. Or was it a guy from the Bears that went to the Rams? Middleton, right? He missed out on Calvin Noy. I was like, nah, he got probably the best one out of that bunch. So Gellman.
So let's talk about collaboration, right? One of the biggest problems you can have in a front office, one of the biggest problems you can have in any executive branch in football, basketball, whatever sport, is when the coaching isn't communicating with the guys getting the personnel in the building. Mm-hmm. That is a problem. That's how you end up with guys like Terrell Suggs in Arizona last year, who shouldn't have even been on the field relative to the scheme. I don't know.
Listen, didn't that happen with Jerry Reese and Tom Coughlin towards the end?
Yeah, sure. The point is, I think when you talk about collaboration and you talk about cooperation, whatever you want to use, whatever those C words are, Gettleman has been doing it correctly. And I think I talked about this at one point. I forget where. I don't even remember. Point is, Dave Gettleman, since he's had the opportunity to run the team the way he wanted to run it, has been doing well. In 2018 and in 2019, to a large extent, he was not running that team the way he wanted to. He was running it the way Mara wanted him to run it. And that was what I wanted to say when you brought up Mara, is that when you talk about sample sizes, right? Dave Gettleman has a large sample size overall, but a small sample size relative to him actually doing his own job and being his own general manager. So I don't see how you can possibly fire the man after a year like this, because there's still fans that are going to say fire him. There's still fans out there. There are. And
there's people all day.
This is an off-topic tangent, but I have to say this. I am going to get a little bit potty language here. fuck you, Mark Schlereth. And
did you guys see him?
As angry as I am at you, I do have pity.
Him and Jeff Schwartz. Jeff Schwartz attacked Art Stapleton on Twitter.
I feel bad for you, Mark Schlereth, because I'm sure your throat is real sore from having Jamal Adams' dick down there all Sunday. I'm sorry.
Bro, the Wayne Gallman run, yo. Gallman's going all the way down the field, and all you hear is, look at Jamal Adams. Look at Jamal Adams.
Fucking bullshit that was.
Yeah, I don't get that at all. But I mean, like, listen, we've become a team that people outside of this fan base just love to hate, and I think I'm okay with that. Like, I think I'm okay with people saying that we're not a good team, our general manager is not good. Let's pay attention to the other players. Please pay attention to the other players while my team kicks their ass. Please.
Yeah. And
please.
I want to address a comment real quick here. I saw by Stan. It's gonna go up, but Stan he has a pretty good comment. He says, "I'll give Gettleman credit, but that doesn't mean we should flip a whole 360." I think he means probably turn a 180. If we were the skeptics, I agree with you. That's all I'm asking you to do. Just give Gettleman his credit. I'm not telling you to do a complete 180 on your opinion on him, though.
We can get back to Gettleman in 1 second. I just want to say one more thing about this asshole. How is it possible for a man who played in the National Football League, played at the highest level of the sport for a good length of time, how is it possible for him to make himself sound like someone who's never watched a down of football? He sounded not only so dumb, not only so biased, but he sounded like he didn't know what he was talking about. He didn't actually know what was going on. It was infuriating. This man and I get he was a Redskins player, but it's incredible to me that a man getting paid as much as he gets paid could be so unprofessional. And I don't know if you saw his Twitter war with Giants fans. A Twitter war with Giants fans.
It was also Jeff Schwartz, a former Giant, by the way, another offensive lineman.
Against Giants fans. And he had battles with guys that weren't even verified. Mm-hmm. He went after random fans tweeting at him. This was all day yesterday and all day today. And this moron couldn't even come up with a single good argument in response. This guy just ignored everything anyone said to criticize him, because this is what media members do. They know that the rest of the country hates big New York sports teams, so they're going to get more money by saying stupid shit about New York sports teams, and they're going to get more money and more clicks and more revenue from saying ridiculous crap. And that's the only reason they do it. All I ask is a little bit of professionalism. A little
PTA.
bit. A little bit.
PTA.
Nate is – I'm going to get my one curse word out here today. Nate is fired the fuck up, y'all. He is fired up. Like, listen, Nate, here's how fired up Nate is. His hair is actually black, okay? His hair is actually black. And oh man, and I just lost screen. And it's because the heat emanating off of this man. I never get the directions right. Over here, he's making it hot for me in the middle. Man, this man is fired up, yo. I love it though. I love it.
I just want to say I love Yvette's comment. He said Mark was definitely getting double teamed by Jamal and DK after the game. 100%, man. 100%. This he attacked Art Stapleton as well. You don't go after Art Stapleton. He's the GOAT Giants beat reporter, man. Come on now.
Like, why are you going after Art Stapleton? For what, man? Just terrible.
So let's go over to Mike's comment now. Mike, this has been up for a while with the whole coordinator year thing. Listen, Patrick Graham's been great. I said in my reaction, just give him the blank check. Tell him to sign whatever he wants, man. Patrick Graham's been outstanding for the Giants.
Oh yeah. I love Patrick Graham. I was one of those people who was skeptical of this coaching staff in the beginning, just because it was just like I don't know what to expect, and I don't get my hopes up. We're just going to wait and see. But as this team and this season has progressed, man, this defense has just gotten better and better. And let me tell you what I knew. I'm going to tell you when I knew Patrick Graham was the real deal. It was after we lost to the Eagles. And everybody is on the field, shaking, dapping hands. Eagles players are excited and celebrating. And Patrick Graham is sitting on the bench looking like someone just shot his dog. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, this dude's not happy.
Bro, what he said in the press conference, so he said, I failed the team. When we all know it was Evan Ingram, but he said, I failed the team.
Yeah, so this dude just sat there like, what just happened? And I knew after that, I was like, yo, this man is getting ready to go into his office.
He's going in his bag, bro.
Oh my God. I keep dropping. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Because I'm okay. This man's going to go into his office. He is going to lock his door. He's going to turn off the lights, and he is going to watch film for a week straight. He's going to come up with some crazy stuff, just some outlandish stuff on defense. This will never happen to me again. And that's when I was like, okay, this man's a real deal because he takes his job seriously. When you take when you take your job seriously enough to after a loss that's not necessarily your fault, right? We can't put the blame on him for sure on that. But when you take it that hard, that you just sit there,
he cares that much.
Yeah, like this guy gives a shit.
Bro, we're doing this right now, right? Our defense is so good right now, especially our pass rush. We're missing our top 4 or 5 edge rushers, either due to injury or because we traded one of them away, which was Marcus Gallman. Yep. Carter's been out basically since Dallas. O'Shane's been out basically the entire year. I think he went out like week 3 or week 4. Of course, Kyler Fackrell's gone and Marcus Gallman's gone. He's back with Arizona. Jabal Sheard, by the way, an unsung hero, had the game, the play of the game last week, and then had a half a sack this week and was getting pressure. The young guys, Carter Coughlin, Cam Brown. It's like, damn.
And also, just on that note, I have something to say about Patrick Graham, but I'll save it for a second. On that note, just about this, I said this in a stream after the game. The fact that we're doing this on defense right now without a whole lot of talent on this defense is incredible. We have some good talent, specifically on the defensive line. We have some good talent there, but no stars. We don't really have anybody on this defense that is a star. Bradbury, you could make the argument, but outside of him, Blake Martinez is good. He's a really good linebacker, but he's not a star in this league, you know? Once we get some real deal talent in here for Patrick Graham and Brett Bielema and the rest of these assistants to work with and mold and shape into their dream defense, watch out. We have a couple of things that we need. A couple of players, a CB2, a speed edge rusher. I think that could be it right there.
You know what's funny? Our speed edge rusher, that's why I'm like, and I've said this, right. I was all aboard to get an edge rusher through signing, and Bud Dupree went down and stuff like that. What it was Bud Dupree or somebody else. I'm not so much on it anymore just because I'm like, this defense is doing so well without the guys that are injured. I'm like, I just want to see what they do when they come back before I go and get somebody.
And I've talked enough about this guy, so I'm not gonna rant about him here. But Hamilcar Rashed out of Oregon State, learn the name. He's gonna be in the league. He fits perfect needs. Anyway, though, back to Graham. Have you been reading some of these quotes that the players are saying about him? Have you been reading some of this stuff? Leonard Williams in an interview just complimented the computer that he has up here. He said that this guy could remember plays from out of nowhere. The example he said was a play from 9 years ago, play 57 from the Cardinals game, way back when. Just came to him. Just like that. This is Sean McVay type crap. He's going to go into his office. He's going to come up with some ridiculous mad scientist stuff. And that's why Russell Wilson, in his post-game interview, said how impressed he was with the Giants' preparedness, how he felt like they had seen all of their plays coming, how they felt like they knew what they were trying to do, and they were there every step of the way to counter it. That is good coaching. That is great coaching, I would go so far as to say. And when you give a guy like that with a football brain and a personality for the players, when you give him talent, when you give him edge rushing talent, when you give him secondary talent, when you give him a star linebacker, that's when really incredible stuff is going to happen.
Before Pest gets his word in, I could see Pest is super impressed.
Oh, shit. I've been trying to get – listen, Nate is killing it over here. I'm just trying to get a word in edgewise, and you're gonna interrupt me too? Man, this is –
Go ahead, Pest. Go ahead.
Pest about to be out of here.
I'm getting ready to say something. That's going to maybe upset some people or maybe sound whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm just making a comparison here, okay? Because I pay a lot of attention to defense, okay? Because I'm a defense guy. That's what I coach. That's what I played. I don't care about offense, okay? But when I look at this defense, right? This defense reminds me of every New England Patriot defense. It reminds me of every New England Patriot defense.
100%.
Because the New England Patriots defense always had guys that were like, who's that guy? Who's that guy? Who's that guy? Oh, I know that one guy. That one guy is a beast. But who's that guy? Like, that's how the New England Patriots defense always seemed to be. And I always wondered, like, man, how in the hell does this team play so well on defense with a bunch of nobodies? Because, like, when these players leave, they're nobodies again. When they're on the Patriots, they're flying to the ball. They're making all kinds of effort plays. They're executing great. They leave the Patriots. They go somewhere else, and they're nobodies again. And I
look at your Patriot player.
Yeah, I look at this, and I'm just like, yo, how this team is making so many strides with a bunch of guys that on other teams would probably suck.
And the thing is, we shouldn't be surprised because this is what we were told was going to be. Graham told us, he didn't say, oh, it's going to be the Patriots defense, but the way he described the way he's going to coach, we all knew, yo, this sounds like New England. The way he said some games we're going to absolutely shut down the run, a la the Eagles game, shut down the pass and just let them get the run, a la the Eagles game, and do the opposite. He was just describing New England with this stuff. And to Nate real quick, he was saying, we don't really have any stars yet. The thing is, we got people that are on the cusp of becoming stars, like Williams, like Bradbury, like Martinez, Jabril Peppers. You could even throw him in there. He was the best safety on the field yesterday. He played better than Jamal Adams, man, and he looks like he's getting better in coverage every week too. There's like a near interception for Peppers every week now. It's crazy. And then on top of that, you talk about guys we could add into offseason. It's absolutely crazy.
And by the way, just about this whole Patriots thing that we're talking about right now, during this offseason, when I learned about who Joe Judge was, his history, etc., I became a little bit of a Bill Belichick, Nick Saban nerd. Kind of nerded out about this stuff. And God, he is shades of both of them. He looks like they were mixed into one younger, fatter dude. He's just out here. And he's everything you can, like, go out and watch the documentary, The Art of Coaching, about Bill Belichick and Nick Saban. Highly recommend it. Great documentary. But more importantly, watch that documentary, listen to Bill Belichick and listen to Nick Saban, listen to them talk, listen to their philosophies, listen to all that good stuff, and tell me you don't hear Joe Judge. Tell me it's not the same.
I watched that documentary.
Yeah, exactly. Pest knows what I'm talking about. He always does. Point is, though, when you see these things, that's why I say this is going to be one of the first iterations of the Patriots imitation to work. And I said it before, and I use the Lions as the example. I always pick on them because this is the best example. They tried to make a Bill Belichick team without a Bill Belichick, and that doesn't work. They tried to make Matt Patricia into that CEO, that head of the company, the guy who's going to be in everything, the guy with his hand in every pot, and he's not that guy. In order to replicate the Patriots, you have to have a Bill Belichick, not the Bill Belichick, but a Bill Belichick type coach. The Dolphins have one in Flores, it looks like. The Giants have one in Judge. And when you're trying to replicate a system that has worked better than any coaching system in football history, if you're going to achieve that, it's going to take you places. If you don't, you're going to end up with Matt Patricia. And by the way, speaking of that comparison, Rex Ryan had a quote after that game. He's doing some funny stuff as an analyst now.
I love Rex Ryan, bro.
Hasn't Joe Judge been everything that the Lions hoped Matt Patricia would be?
I saw that, yeah.
Off, that is a burn and a half. And second off, it's accurate. Joe Judge has looked so good. Everything we could have possibly hoped he'd do. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. When you're going to be that type of coach, when you're going to be the guy, it's my way or the highway. Everything I say goes. That's the whole thing. When you're going to be that coach, you have to be able to back it up. And what has Judge done? Week in, week out, day in, day out, practice in, practice out. He's done it. He's backed up everything he's said. And when you're going to do that, you also have to know what you're talking about, or else you're going to get Matt Patricia, who's just a blowhard who the players hate. If you can find that balance, then you have success.
Mikey C brings up a good point. Mikey C, you're absolutely right. It is the Giants' way, okay? Because Bill Belichick cut his teeth with this squad. So it is the Giants' way. We're bringing the Giants' way back, okay? Because we are playing smash mouth. I love it. Our trenches are dirty and nasty. I love it even more. We're running the ball. We're getting after the quarterback. I love it. I love it.
By the way, Mike, you make a great point. I'm not trying to take away with that anything away from that. You think I haven't watched the Lawrence Taylor years? You don't think I haven't watched the best years of Giants football ever? I'm young. I'm not stupid.
I will say to Stan right here, this was my conspiracy theory about halfway through the season. He said, we got to thank Bill. Bill never grooms anybody, but he took the time to groom one person in Judge and sent him to the franchise Bill always had love for no matter what. Pest, you were in one of my streams when I said, yo, I think that Bill really sent his true successor to us. And then last week I said in a stream, I extended it. I was like, there's been a lot of Belichick failures, but there's two people that's succeeding right now in Flores and Judge. And I think Bill groomed both of them. He gave them both responsibilities right before they went off for head coaching duties. He gave Flores the defensive calling responsibilities right before he sent him off to go play wherever he was going to play. And then he gave Judge wide receiver.
I remember we were learning about the guy. We saw all these highlights, all these clips, all these quotes, and we saw Bill Belichick walking up to talk football and talk strategy in the middle of the game on the sideline with the guy, and he's the one he's going to for like, hey, what do you think about this? And they were, quote, bouncing ideas off each other. And when you hear that, that's a good sign.
Yeah, I remember when you said that, Kush, because it was in that same stream that I threw out my Bill Belichick conspiracy.
Yeah.
I said Bill Belichick sent Joe Judge here. And when Gettleman leaves,
Belichick is coming.
Yeah, I said that was my conspiracy. I don't think it's actually a real conspiracy, but I was like, but wouldn't that be something if he sent, hey, Judge, go to the Giants, all right? You go do your thing there, and I'll be right there behind you. I'll be your GM.
Now I got a question for you. So when you talk about the Patriots way, one of the quotes from that documentary that has stuck with me was when Nick Saban and Bill Belichick talked about their assistants. And they talked about their mentality therein. And they said that a lot of coaches, and I love that when Nick Saban said this, Bill Belichick was nodding before he had half the sentence out of his mouth because he already knew where he was going with it. But anyway, Nick Saban said a lot of coaches will bring in an assistant to do what they do. And Bill Belichick was already shaking his head because he knew what he was going to say. And Nick Saban goes, no, when we bring in an assistant, we bring him in to do what we do as an organization. So my question to you is, when Patrick Graham was in Miami, he was aggressive. He was blitzing all the time, highest man percentage in the league. Do we think that his shift to soft zone was 100% Judge, 100% him, or somewhere in the middle? I think it's somewhere in the middle. Your thoughts?
I think that Graham might have just shifted his mentality to his players. I think that here's what I think happened, okay? I think him and Joe Judge and Brett Bielema and what's our defensive back coach's name? I can't think of it right now.
Jerome Henderson.
Thank you. I think they all sat in a room, right? And they said, okay.
Don't forget Kevin Scherer and Coach Spence Chaos.
Coach Spence, yep.
Coach Chaos. How can you forget Coach Chaos?
Yeah, I think
the best damn nickname in sports.
I think they all sat in a room and they said, okay, what do we have? What do we have to work with here? What do these guys do well? What don't they do well? Because remember, don't tell me what a player can't do well. Tell me what a player can do. So what do we have? How do we maximize value here? And the game plan was, all right, we're going to bend but not break. We're going to bend but not break. We're going to give the quarterback weird-ass looks that they're like, yo, what the hell is that? Who's blitzing? Who's dropping back? Who's covering who? You know, and they just decided that this is probably the best game plan for us. I don't necessarily think that Graham came to the Giants and decided I'm changing my whole mentality. I think again, it's collaborative. I think that's the way that this is working.
I completely agree. I think it's Graham just seeing what he has here, both talent and who he's working with. I think he just adapted. Graham's been around the league. You know, he was with the Giants back in 2016. The last time we had a good defense, even though it was kind of a fluke. He was with the Packers in 2017. You know, he's been around the league. I think he just gathered, you know, he's just a smart guy. You know, you mentioned how a lot of players, you know, comment on how smart he is remembering plays and whatnot. I think he just adapted to what he had.
First off, someone in chat just said, open your eyes, Nate. Am I not opening my eyes enough? Is that somewhere going on?
It's probably when you're leaning back, it looks like it.
All right, well, point it. You know what I hate about doing these streams? There's one thing that I hate about doing these streams. I haven't talked about nearly as much stuff as I want to, and I'm already talking too much. But I'm gonna respond to one thing that Pest brought up. that I want to add on to, which is doing what we brought you in to do. Do your job. The 3 iconic words of the Saban-Belichick coaching tree. Do your job. And you know who's a perfect example of this? A perfect example, Wayne Gallman.
Somebody earlier in the chat said
he said he was struggling because he was trying to be someone else. He was trying to do stuff and play outside of who he was. And Joe Judge challenged him to be the best he could be. And when he became the running back that he is, he said it's because he's doing what he was supposed to do. He's doing his job. And that is Patriot as hell. And by the way,
real quick, Nate,
said something
they said Wayne Gallman is the Ahmad Bradshaw 2.0. I don't know if that's what you're going to point to.
No, something else. Someone in here said something. Sorry, I hate to cut you off, but this is really good. Someone is saying something. Vinny G-Men said something that I have been hammering on for a long, long, long time. Saquon Barkley. We have seen a lot of things from him. We have seen many, many things from Saquon Barkley. We have never once in his professional, college, or high school careers seen what he does behind a good offensive line. Never, ever. In high school, he didn't have a great team around him. That team didn't make it far. In college, his offensive line was trash. And with the Giants in his rookie season, he made something out of nothing. And that was impressive considering how bad our line was. Last year, our line got him injured. Imagine what he's going to do with a 1-2 punch with Wayne Gallman behind an offensive line that's run blocking like this. With Shane Lemieux pulling and hitting his landmark 10 yards away from the offensive line. And
don't forget Shane Lemieux when he's in there at fullback too. I love it when they put him in fullback.
2,000 rushing yards between the two of them.
Yeah. Listen. 2 things. The Ahmad Bradshaw 2.0, I agree with that because I said in a couple streams, I'm like, he doesn't have the size of Bradshaw. But I'm mixing up Jacobs with Bradshaw. No. He does have the size of Bradshaw. But just like Bradshaw, he runs way tougher than he actually is. Like Gallman is actually, I can't remember the last time I saw a running back for the Giants carry people with him. And it was Bradshaw and Jacobs. Gallman is just that. And I'm glad Nate said and Vinny G-Man brought up what Saquon could do with this line because a lot of people are on the get rid of Saquon train. I'm like, yo, listen, don't let Wayne Gallman get you ahead of yourself. He's a great back. He's what we've been asking for. We've been asking for a hard-nosed running back that could take some hits out for Saquon. Before the season began, everybody wanted to take a running back, in the later rounds to be that running back to just run up the middle. We got him in Gallman. Now we're going to have to re-sign him.
Some people were morons.
We're going to have to re-sign him somehow because his contract is up. But do not get ahead of yourself, yo. Saquon is still the better back, and he's going to be even better with a complimentary person like Gallman.
So let's talk about Saquon Barkley for a minute. With this ongoing discussion, do we or don't we trade Saquon? And I want to pose this thing before I let you get to your finger that you got up. So with Saquon Barkley, right? First off, there is no way we are trading him this offseason. His value is in the tank. He has an ACL tear. That's moronic. So anyone even considering that, get that out your damn head. Stop it. Don't even bring that up in here. Second off, next year trading. There is a slim set of events that would have to occur for me to trade Saquon Barkley. Is it possible? Yes. I would entertain the thought. But the way it would have to happen is for him to play well enough to get good value, but not well enough to be untradeable. And I don't really see that happening because at a certain point, Saquon Barkley is going to outrun his tradability. He's going to outproduce where you can get good value back for him. And I know it's bad to pay running backs. It's not sustainable. I understand that. And you look at the models of the dynasties that have been set up before. I know that hasn't happened. But the Patriots never had a Saquon. They never had the best running back in the league. And when you talk about, people say running backs can't win football games. Of course they can. The only position on the field that can really win a football game by himself is the quarterback. But can a running back take over a football game? 100%. You telling me LaDainian Tomlinson never went out there and changed a game? Never went out there and took his team on his back and took them to a W? I know he did. So if you're saying he didn't, you're smoking something. But the point is, I think at some point, it's going to be a decision and it's going to depend on the salary cap. If we can pay Saquon, it's going to depend on his production. If we can't, we're not even going to have a conversation. He's going to get traded. So that's my thoughts on it. Please get to your finger now, Pest.
There's my finger, Nate. God damn it.
Yeah, goddamn, bro.
All of my thunder, right? You still every last drop of my fucking thunder as I'm getting ready to come in and tell you why we need to keep Saquon. And you just took it all, Nate. You know what? I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna sip my beer. Hey, Hub, what you got? Hub, what you got?
I don't really got anything, man. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm actually trying to post a pinned comment right here. God, okay. You guys do that. I'm gonna try and pin your links in the chat right now. Give me a second here.
Okay, cool. So here's the thing. Saquon, I don't think that we move from Saquon. Okay, I don't think we move to Saquon. I don't see it happening. I don't think it's gonna happen. Okay. We were talking about how good Saquon would be with this line. That long run by Wayne Gallman yesterday was a touchdown by Saquon. Was a touchdown by Saquon with his eyes closed. Okay, and so like to have
Nate muted himself to make you feel better.
Christ. to have this kind of offensive line play and to have an explosive back like Saquon Barkley, like I'm telling you, man, we won't be able to get rid of Saquon. Like we won't be able to get rid of Saquon if we can continue to play in the trenches the way we are playing in the trenches. It is guaranteed. Listen to me when I say this to you. It is guaranteed for Saquon to have an Adrian Peterson-like bounce back year with this offensive line. Without question. Okay? 1,000 on the ground, and hell, maybe 1,000 in the air. Just something ridiculous.
I mean, right? He basically did that his rookie year.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It would be so easy for him to have that kind of a year with this offensive line. Now think about this. We throw another good wide receiver out there with Saquon Barkley running this damn ball, keeping his defense honest, having the defense have to worry about the run, and our play action is going to be great. Our zone
don't forget the RPO now. Don't forget the RPO.
That's what I'm saying. Our RPO is going to be great because we're going to have legit threats. But it all starts and finishes with this offensive line. Listen,
and just like
you shut your face, Nate. You have to turn. When I watch, because I've already done my second watch of the game for my breakdown. I'm going to probably watch the game one more time tomorrow, and I'm going to do my breakdown. And my God, okay, the pockets that this offensive line was creating for Colt McCoy was so damn sexy. He had some of the nicest pockets possible. Eli Manning watched that McCoy and said, "Where in the hell was that pocket when I was playing?" Because listen, you get Daniel Jones back in there. Yeah, the horseshoe. You love it. Yeah, you learned that from me, Nate. I drew that up the other day. I drew that up on live. It's on wax. I drew it up on my live stream on Wednesday. I did exactly that. But like you get Daniel Jones, with this kind of a pocket, allowing him to actually make some good reads. You get push on the line of scrimmage and allow the running back to be a threat, which is going to suck that linebacker in, which is going to allow Daniel Jones to pull that ball back out of that running back's belly and take off for 30 yards, a touchdown. Yo, it's gonna be a problem.
Nate, before you go off, just to pick up something you put down earlier. Before you go off, Nate, right?
I'm just saying something he was saying. We're not going to go off.
Before you take your next turn, you're going to go after this, right?
Yeah.
But what's going to happen next year is what I said was going to happen this year. I was clearly wrong about because I thought the offense was going to take off this year. I thought 100% the offensive line would have clicked. I thought that we would have a great running game. I mean, I predicted Saquon to have 1,500 rushing yards this year. Guess what? He's probably going to have 1,500 next year or something like 1,400 next year. I think that's very much in the run possibility. I said because of that, the passing game is just going to flourish. And honestly, DJ might have, listen, he doesn't need to have 5,000. He just needs to have maybe 38 to 4,200 yards and we'll be cooking. We'll be cooking like a barbecue, man. So I think that's what's going to happen next year. What myself and I want to say a good amount of people thought with the offense, that's going to be coming. And you go ahead, Nate.
And I just wanted to respond to something Pest was saying, just to build on that. He said that Saquon Barkley, with that Wayne Gallman run, that's a touchdown for him, 100%. And you can say that about so many plays this season. When you have a home run threat like Saquon Barkley, you can never underestimate the impact a guy like that can have on a game. It can change the whole complexion of a football game. Like how with that one play, even though it wasn't a touchdown, the whole game looked different after that. We hadn't, I don't think, even gotten into Seattle territory at that point. And just like that, the momentum was all on our side of the football. When you have that, but then it's a touchdown, it's even more. And how many plays this year are touchdowns because Wayne Gallman just didn't quite have the speed. He couldn't quite get away. He had the crease. He had one man to beat, and he just got tripped up. Just got him. Just got the ankle tackle.
I don't
know. How many of
know.
those are Saquon housing it? How many of those are a 70-yard touchdown run? How many games are changed by that? Now, to keep going with that, how many games have we won by less than 7 points or lost by less than 7 points? How many of those are W's? What's our record look like at that point?
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if Nate watches my live streams. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't because Tandem Bad Dog, they do take up a lot of calling live. No, I'm talking about calling the game live streams, right?
Yeah.
Every single game I've called this season in the past 6 weeks, which is when Gallman has been stepping in, I've said at least I could count on my hands at least 5 times. Been like, oh, that was a good run by Gallman, but Saquon takes that to the house. And it's not just a 60-yard one. It's not just a 20-yard one. It's like 4-yard runs. It's 5-yard runs, 8-yard runs. And one of the reasons, or the major reason, is because the blocking is exquisite, not just from the offensive line, the hold that Gallman gets, but the tight end blocking. If I'm going to give Freddie Kitchens, some credit here, his tight end blocking has been amazing. It's the wide receiver blocking. I'm looking at that blocking. I'm seeing the second level. I'm like, Saquon's gone, bro. He's to the house.
Yeah. These little lanes that Gallman has.
Because I called that this offensive line was going to be better with our draft. I'm going to pat myself on the back for that one. Man,
because if you go do that, I'm going to pat myself on the back, bro.
I forgot to say this. Talk about the offensive line because you was talking about the offensive line.
Bro, I predicted
I should have said that
to be drafted.
We were talking about Gettleman. This is something I should have said. But just if you're drafting one class, and in one class you draft 3/5 of a future offensive line, how can you fire him? How can you fire someone that does that? Where is the justification? I don't see it. But anyway,
shout out to Mike Nixon for the $5
like you said, to finish that point.
Let me get this super chat real quick, Nate, because it's going to disappear. Sorry. Shout out to Mike Nixon for the $5 super chat. He says, I've been saying Saquon's going to come back like Adrian Peterson. Thank you, Pest. No one wanted to believe me when I said that. You got it, Mike.
I believe you.
Easton. By the way, just to finish that one point with the Wayne Gallman. Wayne Gallman is great as a running back. He's a tough runner. He embodies what this team is. But when you have him and Saquon on a 1-2 punch, and they do have very different running styles, when you have him and Saquon on a 1-2 punch, we'll say Saquon gets 75% of the reps, Gallman gets 25%, something like that. Some strange numerical arrangement, whatever the hell it is. When you have that, teams have to game plan for it. And when you add another layer to this offense, like you were talking about, when you add a receiver into the mix, when it becomes a 3-dimensional, a 4-dimensional offense, it's so much harder to game plan for. And by the way, that's why Graham was having a real good day against Seattle, because he was able to make Seattle a 1-dimensional offense.
We got a live one in the chat. Click on Tony Curry for me. Click on Tony. Tony, let's have a conversation. So let's have a couple of conversations, Tony. Okay, first and foremost, Tony. That shirt's got to go. All right, that shirt has got to go.
It's about 2 sizes too small.
Style and profile. You got your bling on. You got your glasses up on top of your head. That old man style glasses thing. I mean, like that's a good look, but that shirt's got to go. First and foremost, my guy. Here's the next thing. Here's the next thing. How can you fire Dave Gettleman right now? Right. 2, who are you replacing Dave Gettleman with? Because I hear a lot of people talking about getting rid of Dave Gettleman. And if that's the way you feel, that's the way you feel. But who are you replacing him with? Because it's got to be someone who's going to do a better job than he did this past offseason. And I find it hard. No one truly had as good
as Tony has another thing for you. And I completely disagree with this. He says he got a half right one draft. Okay, first of all, he got it at least 3/4 right 2019. 100% right this draft.
Right. We got a whole offensive line in one draft. Think of this for a second, okay? We got Andrew Thomas on the left, right? Lemieux looks great on the left as a guard. We got Nick Gates as a center, okay? We can take Kevin Zeitler and we can trade him right now, right? Because I'll take Will Hernandez and put him over on the right at guard and then put Matt Pert at right tackle. We have a whole offensive line right now, Tony. A whole ass offensive line. That happened in one off season. One off season. What do you mean? He got to have that's the most important part of your offense. I know quarterback gets all the money because quarterback touches the ball all the time, but the offensive line is the most important part. How in the hell can you say he got it half right? We got a whole ass offensive line, bro.
I want to respond to this one. He says Hernandez isn't starting. I think a lot of people are looking at this and taking it like worse than what it is. Hernandez isn't starting right now because Shane Lemieux stepped in when he went on COVID. Hernandez is just having trouble.
It. You don't take the hot hand out.
Exactly. Hernandez is having trouble breaking back into the starting lineup because of how good everybody else is doing. It's like Xavier McKinney. Xavier McKinney isn't out on the field because the safeties are doing an amazing job. So why would they put him out there? They don't have anywhere to put him.
But next year we throw Will Hernandez on the right next to Matt Parrott. Yo, that's the whole offensive line. The whole offensive line. And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker about it, man. Here's what you ain't even thinking about, man. They're all young. They're all young, so we can have the same offensive line for like 10 years if we want to. What do you mean? What do you mean, my guy? Come on, bro. Stop it. That's a whole-ass offensive line. A 10-year offense, maybe not 10. Maybe not 10. Maybe 10 is too long. But 6, 7, a whole-ass offensive line, the most important part of the offense, my guy.
Don't forget, somebody just said, you were saying here's the kicker. We got Gano, so we do got the kicker.
We got the kicker. We got
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Come on, bro. You can't.
Oh, yeah, that's my favorite. Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's mine. I like that one.
You can't be serious. You cannot be serious and say, "Oh, well, he got it half right, bro." We got a whole offensive line out of one draft.
And that's without looking at what right now the biggest impact on the team are the later draft people: Carter Coughlin, Cam Brown. You know what I'm saying? Jay Crowder.
Hit on picks.
Yeah. Like he hit like on every single pick that he had.
Where's those Panthers players he brought in? You mean James Bradbury, the best corner in football?
Right now? DK Metcalf?
You talking about Bradbury, the best corner in football? Is that who you talking about?
The best kicker in the game right now?
The best kicker in football? Is that who you talking about?
No. You know who he's gonna bring up? He's gonna bring up 2018. That running back,
Jonathan Stewart, unreal.
I'm gonna say something. Let me take my cap off so it's a no cap moment. I'm gonna say something to you, Tim Curry. I'll say something to you, Tim Curry. So the reason why I don't like the Washington football team is because of a girl I used to date in the past. But you know what? I'm going to let that go here tonight. I no longer hate the Washington football team because we have to let go of the
important announcement. Nikki's in the chat. What's up, Nikki?
Hi, Nikki. We got to let go of the past, my guy, and focus on what's happening now. You know what's happening? I live in a nice house with a fantastic wife, living a good-ass life, and I have no idea what that girl is doing, right? Although right now she's happy because her Washington football team just won a football game, right? But she's been real sad for a long time, and my life is going up. But you want to focus on stuff that happened 2 years ago? Come on, bro. It's 2020, man. All right? Wash your hands and chill.
Dude, I hope someone doesn't watch these streams. Every time a girl you know comes in, you get so weird, man.
Oh, no. Nikki is different, bro. Nikki's been like an OG of the channel since day one.
No, that's just my thing. The wife.
Same with Sabrina, too. I remember that the other night in your stream. Sabrina came in, like a small child.
Okay, so Lemuel Sinclair's bringing up a point that I rebutted earlier. Is it him or Judge? Listen, Judge definitely had a say in it. But you guys are really, I think, stretching if you think Joe Judge had 100% or majority control of something in his first year as a head coach before he even went on the field as a head coach.
I'm sorry. I'm still stuck on Tim Curry. Are you asking about Eric Flowers, a guy that was drafted by Reese? Gettleman had nothing to do with Eric Flowers. What are we talking?
Why are your expectations for this guy so high, dude? Why do you seem to expect him to have good opinions?
Yo, listen, I don't think it's too much to expect for him to know Flowers was drafted.
Oh, there he goes. It's our stream.
It's our show again. It's our show again. It's my show now. Get him out of here. It's not my show. Nate, you shut up. You shut up, man. You don't talk. It's my show now. It belongs to me now.
That was not for comedic effect. I accidentally clicked the back button.
Uh-huh.
That was not for comedic effect, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You see now my mouse that has the back button on the side? I accidentally clicked that. It is what it is.
Tony Curry, your football knowledge is like your taste in shirts. It's absolutely terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
New Jersey Jake says, I saw a report that said Gallman had almost all the say and control in the offseason and the draft. That's what I'm saying. They're not going to give a first-year head coach before he even does anything on the field majority control of anything. Gallman did his job. The reason a lot of people think that Judge had to say is because Gallman brought in players that fit the scheme. I mean, that's what he's supposed to. He's supposed to bring in players that fit.
Hold up. Tony Curry's back in here. He's saying Eric Flowers went to another team and played good. They switched him to a different position, and he's not even playing that well.
Yeah.
You better not be talking about Eric Flowers.
Eric Flowers is still kind of ass. Eric Flowers is still kind of ass. Hi, Nikki.
Shout out to Roldy Lewis in here as well. All right, listen, Tony's saying let's talk about his offseason players for the last. Okay, listen, 2018, I really don't count his free agency. Like, we all agree 2018, that was Mara. I love Saquon. I like Will Hernandez. Loved Lorenzo Carter. I said he was going to have a good year. He was on his way before he got injured. So that's players right there, even though he didn't have complete say. He did a pretty good job. Free agency, not so much. 2019 was when Gallman really started to get control. And 2020, it's funny. He got full control in what a lot of people thought was going to be his last year. He's done a good job.
Yo, listen, I don't care what you say. And I'm not a Dave Gettleman apologist, right? If Dave Gettleman's not here after this, and I'll be like, hey, it is what it is, right? Because I don't get married to coaches, players, the popcorn vendor, okay? I don't marry to any of these guys. I don't care. Right? Because all I care about is the team being good. So if this dude is going, he's going. But I'm going to give credit where it's due, man. I'm going to give you do look like Jason Garrett's son, by the way, man. You do. I'm just throwing that out there.
Jake says, that when the Giants lose, Dave Gallman sucks. When the Giants start to win, it's all Judge. Shake my head. Gallman will never get his respect.
That's fans, man.
Bro, Tim, Tony. Dave Gettleman brought in free agents based off of the cap that he had at the time, right? So he made a couple of moves and they were stinkers, right? You can't always hey, Tony, let me oh man, I don't want to get Hub's channel. Tony, you need to come to my channel on Wednesday to my live stream because I'm not monetized and we can talk all the smack. All right. Make sure you come see your boy on Wednesday. I will be live at 8:45 p.m. Eastern. Come on, let's have a conversation about Gettleman. You bring your ass on over to my channel, we'll have this conversation. All right.
I want to say, kind of shifting it back to more positive thoughts. Can we get a wild card? I really think we still got control of our destiny. Now, Nate was saying it earlier. The win tonight by Washington was unexpected, but we're still in the driver's seat.
I mean, we're in control of our own destiny. How nice is it to say that as Giants fans for the first time in forever? I mean, we are, like you said, in the driver's seat. We are in control, and oh my God!
Yeah, we're gonna have to address this.
He's done. No more airtime.
Hey, someone get this guy.
Yeah,
honestly.
He said he ruined the Panthers.
You're uninvited, Tony. Tony, you are uninvited to my channel on Wednesday. Don't show up, okay?
We are in control of our own destiny.
When you throw things like that out, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for you, bro.
Call the burrito, bro. It's a wrap
for you, bro.
Listen, I just need L's in the chat. I need L's in the chat.
Everybody L's in the chat for Tony Curry. His curry is not even spicy, okay? It doesn't have enough cream in it, all right? It tastes terrible, all right? Your curry is terrible. L's in the chat for Tony disgusting ass curry.
He says see you Wednesday.
Nobody else. Jesus.
Good God. This guy, man. I love this. I
Aiden. Bring up Aiden Harrington's comment there.
I clicked on it and then it's the L.
Yeah. This is 100% accurate. This is Joe Judge's. This is his thing right here. This is how he's going to motivate this team. That's the truth.
And you know what? It does so much good for him because there's literally no expectations. With so many people out, with like a lot of people were counting him out before the injuries and whatnot, it just pays to have such a roster and have such success with it. You know what I'm saying?
Logan makes a good point as well.
Logan?
Yeah, I saw that.
Shout out to Logan.
That's a good point, man. That's 100%. Parcell joined a bad Giants team and turn around less than 3 seasons. 100%. Because he came in there with a mindset of, I'm going to be me. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want, and I'm going to coach these guys up correctly.
Yo. Roldy Lewis in the chat. This is what a mature Giants fan looks like.
I said it earlier. I said you don't have to
Tony, take notes.
Yeah.
Take notes.
Just give him some credit. You don't have to do a 180 on your opinion on him. Just give him some credit.
Oh, so now Tony's trying to this is what you call W farming. This is what you call W farming. That's what this is. This is W farming. Trying to salvage a little bit of a reputation. He's trying to make himself look a little bit better. A little bit.
This man has cap on top of cap, bro.
Let's put on some more caps.
Just put on a little bit more. Now, Joe Yaddle makes a good point. He says that Parcells did have LT. Hey, man, is it too much for me to say that Judge has Patrick Graham? Is that too much? Because Graham's working this defense real nice. I'm going to ask you all this. We haven't even gotten to it yet because we having so much fun. What you paying Leonard Williams, man? I'm going to start off with Pest. What you paying this man, the big cat? I'm
paying Big Cat what he wants, man. I love Big Cat.
He wants 20 to 25, bro.
I'm paying Big Cat what he wants. I'm paying Big Cat what he wants, man. I gotta have Big Cat on his team.
I gotta have everybody on
no Cat moment. I gotta have Big Cat on his team, y'all. He's gotta be on his team. Big Cat is the truth. I've been yelling at the top of my lungs to the mountaintops that Big Cat is the truth. Okay, Big Cat. Put this cap on. Big Cat.
I mean,
Cat. We're big caps.
With Leonard Williams, I would give him $19 million. I'm not going to pay him $20 million. I'm not paying Leonard Williams $20 million. It's not that I don't love Leonard Williams' game. I do. It's just that first off, someone's going to end up offering him. If we're willing to offer him $20 million, someone else is going to offer him more. Someone else is going to look at the Giants making him that offer and say, oh, clearly, based on the fact that they're offering him that, he must be for real. It's not just the numbers. It's not just false production. And at that point, he's going to get more. But beyond that, the more important thing is that, first off, I don't entirely know if he's worth that much. I don't know if I would value him at 20 to 25 million. I just don't know if I would. Aaron Donald makes 22.5 a year. I'm not willing to pay him that much.
Listen, I'll say this before Pest responds. I think we need to keep everybody on this defense right now together because this defense just works too good to be missing one puzzle piece, and that's what I think it is. It's just a bunch of puzzle pieces that's working. I want to keep everybody on here. I want to re-sign Leonard Williams, but I am a little bit with Nate on this. I don't know if I'm giving him 20. There's only 3 defensive tackles in the league right now making 20 plus. In this order: Chris Jones, Aaron Donald, DeForest Buckner.
Hey,
and
man, I've been hammering on this for longer than anybody.
Yeah.
I've been saying re-sign Leonard Williams, re-sign Dalvin Tomlinson for longer than anybody, man. But I just don't know I'm willing to cross that 20 million mark. I would go right up there, but I'm not crossing it, man. That is just sure. And you know what, Pez? I am interested to hear what you got to say to this, man. Yeah, sure, please.
Hey, can I get some L's in the chat for these two? Can I get some L's in the chat for these two?
Convince me, Pez, please. Convince me to your side.
You guys don't want to re-sign the
No, I said we do want to re-sign him. I want to re-sign him.
Wait a minute. You guys don't want to re-sign the best interior defensive lineman on this team right now for 20. Y'all don't want to re-sign him to that.
Okay. Listen, bro, my cap is 18, bro. I don't know. You got to take into consideration the fact that the actual cap is going down as well.
I understand. And that may be why he's not getting 20 because they may say to him, hey, listen, man, cap went down. We can't afford 20. Let's figure something out. But here's my question. If we're not re-signing Leonard Williams, who are we replacing him with?
Bro, listen, I don't want to think about that because I want him back on the team so bad. I want him back on the team so bad.
There's players in the draft with the same physical profile as him.
Yeah, but I don't trust any edge rusher, just pass rusher in general in this draft. I really don't trust any of them.
But do they have the same ability? That's
a fair question to ask, man. But at the end of the day, when you're saying, is he worth that? Am I willing to pay him that? I'll tell you this. So you brought up the excellent point of the cap, right, Hub? So let me preface my statement with this. I should have said this at the beginning. If I could afford to pay him what he wanted to come back, I would do it. But I've crunched the numbers. We can't afford that much. We can't afford that much while still bringing back enough depth to run a team effectively. Depth, as you know better than anybody, is the backbone of any team. We can't afford to pay Leonard Williams $25 million and then bring back the rest of our guys like Wayne Gallman, like Fleming as a swing tackle.
I don't think it's going to cost $25 million. I really don't.
What do you think he would have signed to?
And listen. Here's something that we're not. Here is something that we're not taking into consideration here, right? Because yes, football players want the bag, right? Football players want the bag, but football players also want to win. Okay. And if you're looking at this team, if you're looking at this coaching staff, if you're looking at the direction, the direction that this team is heading in, you want to be a part of this. So like, yes, is Leonard Williams going to want the bag? He probably is. He's going to probably want the bag. But there's a very good chance that Dave Gettleman and Joe Judge can sit down with him and go, listen, in order for us to continue this momentum, in order for us to continue to move in this direction to win championships with an S, we're going to need you to work with us.
All right. This is the only reason I'm not with that. This is the only reason. I would have been 100% on that train because I know that's a real thought process that players go through. But Leonard Williams had an interview earlier this year where he was getting grilled by Giants reporters. Hey, how does it feel to play meaningful football for the first time in your career? How does it feel to be in the playoff hunt? How does all this stuff feel? And he seemed non-committal about it. He very, very muted. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's great. I'm excited. We're doing good stuff.
Shut the fuck up. You think these players really coming out here talking about?
Hell no. I'm just saying the lack of enthusiasm is what worries me. I'm not saying I have some insider knowledge. I'm just a 6-year-old random kid. I'm just saying it worries me.
This is what I'm gonna say to both of those, right? I hope the thought process that Pez bring up is what Leonard Williams goes through because I see him on the field. When he's on the field, he loves being out there. He loves playing with Dalvin Tomlinson. He loves playing with Dexter Lawrence. He loves playing for his team. He's having fun. That's what I hope happens. Yeah, and Nate does have a point. On the field, he's all types of committed. Off the field, he is, kind of weird with his interviews, but we'll see what it comes down to in the offseason.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, he's having a blast right now. He's enjoying what this team is building. I'm sure he wants to be a part of it. Does that
let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. He's having a blast right now. You don't think he'd have more of a blast if a team offered him $23 million next year?
100% he would go for the 23, bro.
I mean, yes, he could potentially say, yeah, I want the money.
He's going to sign for money. That's what I'm saying.
But we don't know that about the player.
We don't know for sure. That's what I think.
This is what I'm banking on, right? This right here. What Kwachi brings up, this is what I hope Leonard Williams thinks to himself. I hope he thinks to himself, I might not produce the same if I go to another system. That's what I hope goes through his head.
That's possible.
I'm just saying.
Fair point.
I'm just saying, players, they do care about money, man. But this game that we play, as a former football player, hey, Hearthstone is in a build.
Shout out to Hearthstorm, $2 super chat. He says, "What's good? I gotta get on a Just Chillin'." Hearthstone, you've been on a Just Chillin' before. The call-ins are Just Chillin' as well. But yeah, go on, Pest.
Listen, man, as a player, man, we want to have fun when we're playing, man. We don't want to be in a situation where we're not enjoying the people we're playing with. We're not enjoying the system we're in. We're not enjoying the coaching staff. We're not enjoying the location. If Leonard Williams is enjoying all of this, then there is a very good chance that he says, all right, listen, I know that if I take up a whole bunch of cap, this team is screwed. And right now we got something going here. So let's meet in the middle, right? Where I can be happy with the money that I'm making and you guys can be happy with the money you're not spending. And we can continue to build.
Okay. So here's my final thing on this. This is something where we're kind of just splitting hairs here. I'll say this. My stance on this is just from the impression I get from interviews, the impression I get from what
that's what Giants Opinion Sports is bringing up here, by the way.
Yeah. All right. So here's the thing. Where I feel is that Leonard Williams would love to stay here. He's having fun, like you pointed out. He's having a good time, and he knows he can continue to have success here. But if someone outbids the Giants by $1 to $2 million, he's going there. That's my feeling.
Fair. That's a fair feeling.
And I think there's going to be teams out there that see Leonard Williams with double-digit sack numbers this year and see his production and see the impact he's had on the defensive line And those teams are going to have a little more money to spend, a little more loose change in their cap pocket. And they're going to say, hey, if the Giants can't offer him what he thinks he's worth, we will. That's what I think.
And I want the next thing I'm going to get into is another contract situation because we brought it up briefly, but not a lot of people are thinking about it. We're just assuming Wayne Gallman is going to be back here next year. You got to think Wayne Gallman is going to want some type of contract as well. Now, he knows he's not going to get top running back money because that means he's insane. But what are you signing Wayne Gallman back to? Because he's definitely catching some other teams' eyes.
What is he getting right now? 3.5?
He's on his rookie contract. I don't know, the 4th round pick, rookie contract, whatever that is, man.
No, I saw it earlier. I thought he was on 3.5 right now. Hold on.
I'm bringing it up. Wayne Gallman contract.
I'm crazy.
Yeah, he's on a 4-year, $2.8 million contract. So right now he's making $825,000.
I'll said something different, I thought. Well, either way.
He's making less than $1 million right now.
Yeah, I think it depends on how teams value him versus how they value the offensive line and how they value a bunch of other different factors. I think he'll probably end up with some different offers from different teams that think different things about him. But I think the most a team will offer him is probably an AAV somewhere in the 5-ish million range. That would be my guess tentatively from how he's been playing, because he's been playing like a beast. The thing that teams aren't going to like is that it's a short sample size. They're not going to like, obviously, that he's the backup and that he wasn't able to do this before. So I think he's not going to get paid like $10 million. He's not going to get that. I think I'd probably put it around 5 million AAV, I guess.
What do you say, Gus?
Yeah, I think I can agree with probably about 4 to 5. And you know what? Actually, I'd even think that maybe he would take like 4 and then a whole bunch of like incentives.
Yeah. I could see that. I'll tell you what concerns me is less the money. What concerns me is that Wayne Gallman, right, is a player's player, right? He's he wants to get out there. He wants to do his thing. What concerns me is less that a team will offer him more money and more that a team will offer him starting reps. Because the Giants have Saquon Barkley. When Saquon Barkley is healthy, Wayne Gallman isn't going to get full-time reps. What concerns me is that at some point a team is going to say, hey, Wayne, the Giants like Saquon more than you. They don't value you as a player the way we do. We'll give you full reps. We'll let you be the guy in the backfield.
Here's the thing, though, right? That's a good point. The thing is, I think he is going to get a good amount of reps with Saquon next year. I don't think they're just going to squander what they learned about him this year. But also, what team is going to give him start? Like, what team right now is going to give him starting reps? I can't think of a team that will give him starting reps.
Yeah, I don't have one off the top of my head, but there's always an aging running back that isn't quite getting it done at some point. There's always going to be someone.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't think, like, even Jacksonville, you know what I'm saying? They have their guy, the undrafted running back.
What I figure is at some point, some team is going to say, we like this guy for his price. That's what I think. And they're going to lure him in with the offer of more reps. That's my thought process here.
Somebody mentioned Aiden said Patriots. Edward Chan said Jets. Listen, Gallman's not. If Gallman goes to the Jets, he's signing his career away, bro.
Yeah, he ain't going to the Jets. Maybe the Patriots.
Don't they have a running back that's doing actually decently well right now? That Ty Johnson, maybe?
Is it Ty Johnson? I'm not sure.
Didn't Ty Johnson have a pretty good game yesterday? Or not yesterday? Yesterday. Sorry, what am I saying? I'm out of my mind. Yeah, I thought he had a pretty good game against the Raiders. Ty Johnson did.
And Dolphiny Gonzalez says, what happens if two teams tie for the lead in division, but their division wins are equal? Well, it's going to be a tiebreaker. It's going to be the tiebreaker. Like right now, the Giants have the tiebreaker over Washington. We're tied for the lead. We have the same record, and we have the same division record, but we swept Washington, so that's what it comes down to.
Right.
Oh, Dolphin. No, Dolphin. Who's the Dolphins running back, actually?
Gaskin.
Miles Gaskin?
Okay. I mean, he's solid, but they actually could give him a chance. I could see that, believe it or not. Mm-hmm. I think Mark P said Bears, and dude, why? What they've got going on right now, at least in the rushing attack, works. Yeah. What they need is a quarterback.
He's not going to the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't happen.
But the thing is, I don't see Gallman.
Lions, that's a good one. Lions could
have DeAndre Swift. And Carry-On, or the Carry-On. No, Carry-On's still with them.
Here's a crazy one. How about the Steelers? James Conner has proven he can't stay healthy. They do like AMC, though. They like
Benny Snell, too.
You're saying they like Benny Snell.
I don't know. The thing is, I just don't see him going anywhere. I think he's going to stick with the Giants, and I think it's going to be a pretty good contract. I think he's just going to be re-signed. I mean, I don't see why he would go.
And again, I'm kind of being the pessimist here with Wayne Gallman and with Leonard Williams. Let me clarify 100% here. I want both of those guys to be Giants. Just to make this 100% clear. If either of those guys left, I'd be very sad. Leo more than Wayne, but both of them.
I want to ask, Pest, how close is Leo to making you get a Leonard Williams jersey?
I won't.
You won't?
No, I won't.
Wow.
I won't.
Well, what would he have to do?
Sweeping statement.
What would he have to do?
Be here long term.
So if he is here long term, then like we lock him up this offseason.
Be here long term. I'd probably be one.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I'm very selective in the people whose jerseys that I get. So like you have to do something. You have to do something, or I have to highly believe in you. Like if you look at the back, which the chat can only see, half of which direction. If you look at the back, I've got old players in one Saquon because I think Saquon is special. But like I typically don't buy current players' jerseys. I buy people who I really liked after they're gone. Like I really like Pierce. I thought Pierce was a beast. You got to have an LT. I got 2 Eli's because I love Eli. I hope Barkley turns into something, right? Because I feel real dumb having his jersey and he's not here anymore. But I took a chance on Barkley because I believe in the kid.
Also, someone said Bills. I could see that actually.
Yeah, Bills.
Depends on how much they like Devin Singletary.
Texans are another good one too. David Johnson is old. Yeah. Yo, I feel sorry for Deshaun Watson, man. Every single time I hear the Texans brought up, I just continue to feel sorry for that guy. Crazy.
The effects of Bill O'Brien's stupidity are going to be felt in that city for a long time.
Long time.
Hey, listen,
absolutely long time.
I've got to get ready to make my way on out of here. I've got an early start in the morning, but I appreciate you guys for having me on tonight. I appreciate everybody in the chat, except Tony Curry. Man, I'm
here for the heavyweight fight on Wednesday, bro. I'm here for it.
The thing is, I'm gonna close it out at around 10:15. So I don't know if you could stay until 10:15.
Oh, 10:15. Okay. Yes. I got a couple minutes. Yeah, that's fine.
So guys, definitely get your last questions in there, man. And I see people mentioning Cardinals, and Tony's apparently gonna be there on Wednesday. So, Pest, what time is Wednesday starting?
8:45 p.m. Eastern, sharp. Can't wait.
And shameless plug, when you're done with Pest, make sure you come up to the Young Guns podcast, bro. Me and Kid Blue.
And you go to the Young Guns. Yep, that day. Listen, that's the Wednesday night lineup. PTA Sports and then the Young Guns. Every now and then PTA Sports pops up on the Young Guns as a continuation. So who knows? That might happen.
Shout out to John for the $10 super chat. Thank you, my man. He says Kevin Abrams is a money genius. He will figure it out to make everything work out. Most likely, we will cut Solder after June. I completely forgot about Nate Solder. I forgot this man existed.
Cut him. That's going to save us. That's going to save us a buttload of money. And I'm telling you, it is not unlikely. It is not unlikely that we trade Kevin Zeitler. It's not unlikely.
All right, but for who? If we were going to trade Kevin Zeitler, I really wanted to see that deal done before the trade deadline.
It's for draft capital.
What are you going to get for him? He's aging. He's still got a contract on him.
He's still got a contract.
I think he probably only has like 1 or 2 years left on his contract.
He's got 1 year left on his contract after this. I want to say it might be 10. It might be 10 million.
12 and a half.
12 and a half. It's 12 and a half. Okay, it's 12 and a half, right? I could totally see us getting maybe a 5th or a 4th for Zeitler. It's free.
I bring up the trade deadline because I really wanted to see Zeitler dealt, and I bet you anything if Hernandez didn't get COVID at the exact worst time, you would have seen Zeitler gone. I really was a big fan of seeing if you could package maybe Zeitler and Tate together and ship them off to a team that needed a little bit of a shot in the arm because they thought they were going to the playoffs. Yeah, I was a big proponent of that. Trade him while the getting's hot because the league right now is in desperate need of experienced offensive linemen all over in the contenders, and that would have been the best possible chance to get some value for him. I think if you shipped Zeitler and Tate together, you probably could have gotten a 3rd-round pick.
Maybe. And you know what? Maybe we still can. That's the thing is maybe we still can. Maybe we ship him off to someone and maybe we still can. But I mean, it'll be like a low third round pick, right? It won't be nobody up high. But even still, like it's not even so much about getting like high picks, right? It's about clearing that cap space with Zeitler and getting something back for free. We've got what we needed out of Zeitler. The real value in that trade was Jabril Peppers anyway, and the pick that we got to get Dexter Lawrence. So Kevin Zeitler is a bonus. Deal him.
You know what's funny?
Sure.
I remember Dave Gallman saying after the trade and reports coming out saying that Gallman was not making that trade unless Jabril Peppers was in the package. I remember that from years ago.
Respect, big respect. By the way, someone in chat said, this is Kyle Celio. Sorry, I don't know how to say your name. Which do you like better, Danny Dimes or Danny Dash? First off, never heard Danny Dash. It's fine. But, I mean, come on. If it's not Vanilla Vic, it ain't anything. Vanilla Vic is the best one, bro.
The reason I can't hop on Vanilla Vic is because we've given that nickname to quarterbacks not named Daniel Jones before. Like literally every quarterback we've drafted.
It's still the best name.
I don't call him either. He's Daniel Jones or DJ.
Yeah, I call him DJ. DJ.
You listen. You don't just get a nickname that fast.
Yeah, I get that. We also don't call Graham Gano Obi-Wan Kenobi. We say his name. I'm just saying if you are going to
the hell calls him Obi-Wan Kenobi? Who the hell's doing that? I'll slap
him. That's my whole point here.
I made up. Well, I didn't make it up, but I presented 4 nicknames a couple weeks ago: Obi-Wan Kenobi, Graham Slam, Graham the Goat Gano, Godfather Gano. People loved Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I like Graham Slam. That's a good one.
That they're all dumb. He's Graham Gano. He's our place kicker. He's a beast. We'll leave it at that.
Good enough.
Yo, I got a good one. Caucasian Cunningham. Caucasian Cunningham for DJ. Caucasian Cunningham for DJ, bro.
Listen,
I can go with that.
It's bad enough I call Dexter Lawrence Sexy Dexy sometimes. It's also bad enough that I'm calling Williams Big Cat. All right.
How did Leonard Williams get the nickname Big Cat? Does anybody know?
Who the hell knows? Who cares?
A shout out to Calvin in here. Member alert. Calvin is a Cardinals fan. Funny that we're going to be going up against them. He said right now the Bills playing better in the Cards house than my Cards do. Damn, the NFC West is in trouble. Great win yesterday. See you all Sunday, guys. Before we close it out, your quick thoughts on this Cardinals game, man.
I mean, if Jones is playing and if Jones is at full strength, I don't see any reason you don't pick the Giants in this game. They're coming off a better hot streak. The defense is really coming together. You cannot say the same for the Cardinals. The offense is working. Cliff Kingsbury has been a liability more than anything. By the way, can you believe Cliff Kingsbury has a problem with calling conservative plays? That is shocking to me. Anyway, though, all those things, they just combine, and the Giants, everything's starting to come together. I'm picking the Giants in this one personally.
And Pest?
I don't make predictions, right? So it's going to be what it's going to be. Authentic. I think that's Authentic's fake account.
Authentic in here, man.
I think that's his fake account. I don't think that's the real Authentic. I think that's the fake one that fooled us the other day.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
No, this is the real one because he has a wrench.
So the thing about this Cardinals game is I think we have a very good chance of winning this game because I personally think all of our remaining games are winnable. Okay, I do. I think I'm not saying that we're going to win them, but I think they are all winnable. All of them are winnable. We'll just have to see what happens.
I've been saying this since after the game. We just won the toughest remaining game on our schedule. We just did it right there. That was the only one that was the only team that coming in had actually been playing good football. The rest of the teams on our schedule have been like barely treading water this year. They've been struggling to stay afloat. The Cardinals can't figure it out. Kyler Murray hasn't looked the same since his AC joint got banged up. The Ravens' offense is nothing, even with Lamar Jackson. The defense is trying to carry them, but it's having a tough time. The Browns, let's be real. The Browns are good, but Baker Mayfield is not as good as he played on Sunday. No way. And then the Cowboys are trash.
Woof.
It's bad.
Listen,
Mike McCarthy resorting to the Gallagher watermelon show that didn't even work. That was
Yo, you think Mike McCarthy's about to be one and done?
Nah. He's gonna get the injury excuse. He's gonna get the COVID excuse.
Yeah, he'll get 2 more seasons minimum.
In any other year, I'll say this: in any other year with less weird crap, he would have a good chance of being one and done. Now, here's a question based on that: Do we think Doug Peterson axed? I think so.
I don't think so yet. I think they're gonna give him one more year just because he got them the Super Bowl.
He's
I think
close.
he's gone.
He's close. I don't think he's going yet, but he is close.
He's very close. Yeah,
I think he's done in rings.
he should be, but I really didn't give him another one.
We'll see. Hey, if they do, I won't be mad.
I won't be mad either. And I got to say, yo, thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to have to close it out now. Pest got to be out. I got to be out soon as well. Shout out for Pest coming in. Shout out for Nate Talks Giants for coming in. Love the fact that we had a great turnout tonight, man. 88 people at one point. You guys were amazing. Brought in all the good questions. Any last thought, Nate?
I mean, we said it all. Thanks so much for having me on the stream. I appreciate it. Trying to grow a young channel. I'm sure you remember what it was like. Awesome for you, Chris, different guys like that to have growing creators on. Thanks a lot.
No problem, man. Pest.
It's always a pleasure to be on the hub. I have become a
regular member.
I've become a supporting cast member of this channel and of some other channels, and so I'm blessed to be in this circle, and I really appreciate it. I'm always thankful to the people in the chat, man. Thank y'all for spending some time with us, giving us your time, because it's about your time and not about ours. So thank you all for coming and hanging out. I hope to see a fair amount of you guys in my live stream on Wednesday where we can actually get buck wild, because I'm not monetized. So I'm gonna take advantage of not being monetized for as long as it lasts. So hopefully you guys come hang out with me on Wednesday, man. We're gonna talk a whole lot of stuff. So hopefully you guys did. I appreciate y'all.
Guys, remember, their links are actually pinned in the chat right now. So you guys just need to go over there, sub them up. Shout out to Mike for last minute $5 donation. He says, I call Golden Tate Golden Tater Tot. I like that one a little bit, just because Tate had a little bit of a tater tot moment, earlier on in the season. But once again, thank you all for tuning in. Whenever I have big streams like this, I love it. Got to once again plug the Christmas merch. We got the Wayne Train Leaping and what I'm wearing right now with the Sack the Halls. Go check it out. The link is in the description, and it is now in the chat as well. That's it for now. We're out. Peace.
Adios.